Hi, I'm Peter at Range and Country, and I'm here with Keith and Christopher.
Hi.
And we're doing our monthly Meet the Members. And today we've got an older generation and a younger generation. So the future of shooting, really, as you could say. So Keith, how old are you?
I'm 52 now. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
similar age to me, a couple of years younger. So
Yeah.
when did you start shooting?
Well, I was, let's see, I was about 13, 14. I'd basically been to the Air Cadets here in Sleaford, and they used 2.2s and...
Was that rimfire or
Yeah,
air guns? Rimfires,
yeah, long rifle, yeah. The old converted 303s
Okay.
that they got. So yeah, I started on that, and I wanted to get better. So Dad said, well, let's go into town, and we went to Slingsby's, as it was then, down Westgate there.
Yeah.
Went to Slingsby's, got my first break barrel air rifle, had that.
Can you remember what it was?
No, it was definitely a cheap and cheerful. It certainly wasn't one of the BSA or Webley or anybody like that. It was a cheap and cheerful.
Didn't have the money in those days, really, did we?
No.
That'd be the 80s, would it?
Yeah. You're talking, early 80s.
Early 80s,
yeah. And then quickly, because I kept going into Slingsby's, obviously for the pellets and the like, quickly took a liking to HW77K.
Nice.
And that became my next.
And how old were you at that point?
I think I was about 15, when I was allowed.
What sort of build were you at that age?
Pretty much the same as Christopher,
Were you?
really.
So how did you manage the 77?
It was a heavy beast. It was a big lump. But no, I got on all right with it, and that was mainly in the back garden sort of stuff. It was all plinking, so it was really overpowered for that. It was,
Open sights?
Yeah. Because that's the way that I was being taught. So it was open sights, and which proved a bit interesting.
I think the scopes were pretty poor in those days as well.
Yeah, you're talking 4x20s, aren't you?
Yeah.
It was all basic stuff. It was
very much so.
Very thin grap patterns on them, and it was really, really basic stuff. Did try to get on with it, but it was like stick to open sights. I was safer with them.
Yeah.
And then everything. Well, I joined the Air Force at 17 and a half, so everything went quiet a little bit on the shooting side, on the personal side. Work-wise, it didn't, because I became an armourer.
Okay.
And so
in the Air Force.
In the Air Force.
So what were you working on in the Air Force?
When I did my weapons maintainers course, get the words out, I was looking after SLRs, 7.62 SLRs, the LMG, which was a light machine gun at the time. I did Browning high power pistols. And then everything in between, really. As I was on my course, which was 88, I did my small arms course. The SA-80, L85,
wonderful,
was just coming in. I was one of the first armourers to do the course on that, and it was like, what on earth is this piece of plastic? But we got on with it, and it's.
How did you rate it when it came out?
Because I've been so used to SLRs. It was, what's this? Throw it in the bin. I want my SLR.
Why was that?
Was
it the weight? Or was it
and the build quality as well. When you look at the FN SLR as it was, you look at that, and because it was a bigger cartridge, you knew when you pulled the trigger, because you felt it, and when you hit the target, you knew you'd hit the target.
Yeah.
Whereas this was 5.56 is only just bigger than the 2.2s that we use, and it was like, you shoot at a target at 30, 50 yards, and you were giving it, have you hit that? We'll have a look in a minute.
So what do you think of the wisdom of going to the 5.56 after the 7.62?
I can understand it from our side of it, running around with all that ammo in your pouches and that. I could understand why they wanted a lighter. And they were trying to standardise across NATO.
Okay.
So it was a case of, if we're working with the Americans, if we're working with the Germans, if we're working with the French, we all had 5.56, so we could put it in. Instead of having to go back to your own boys and saying, give me the ammo. I can understand that. The biggest change really was when they gave it to HK and said, modify that, and we got the A2 version, and that's a totally different beast.
Okay.
It's far better. But then that followed me then for 22 years. I worked as an armourer for one of the RAF regiment squadrons. I looked after all their big stuff, all their field guns, GPMGs, belt fed. Did helicopters, the minigun that they stick in their doorway, the M60 that they stick on the back ramp, did all that sort of stuff. So I've had a good grounding of weapons all the way through my career.
Yeah.
And then as I came out of the Air Force, I still had that want to shoot, and air rifles is the way forward. And it's
What sort of year was this?
2009. Christopher was just been born. He was 6 months at that stage.
Okay.
Yeah, I came out of the Air Force, and it was like, yeah, what can I do? I want to shoot. I don't want to get tied into going to big ranges and stuff like that. So I bought my first air rifle again. And
What did you go for?
Air Arms S400.
Okay. PCP this time.
Yeah, totally different kettle of fish. It was. You sort of do your homework and you have a look around and read what you can, and they were just sort of coming out then, sort of thing, weren't they? It was their infancy, and everybody was saying these are the things to have. They're so accurate and all the rest of it, and I won't argue with that. They are, and that's where I started again. I bought that from a guy in Boston. Out in the sticks in Boston somewhere, Punch Bowl Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Bought it from him. Got all the kit, got me cylinder that I've still got today. I've still got the rifle today. It's had a change of clothes. It's got a nice laminate stock on it now, but it's the same rifle, and it's still shooting pellet on pellet.
177?
Yeah, 177 again. And then you guys came on the scene a couple of years ago, and it was like, this is what we need. Nice range, nice setup.
You're quite local to us, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
far away at all.
No. I'm just down the road here at the other side of Rorsby. So yeah, for me, it's just cross the 153, and here we are. Christopher's a little bit further away, but it's no great shake. So I go pick him up and drag him along, but yeah, it's great fun.
So what have you gone to after the Air Arms then? And
Well, we've gone sort of stayed with the PCP side of things, but we've gone for a nice Brocock Sniper XR.
Okay.
Mixture of two worlds really. Christopher, I just introduced Christopher to the world of shooting. He'll talk about his in a bit with you, but his rifle, my rifle, very similar. But we wanted something that we could share for doing the AHFT that you've got here. So we went for something a bit lighter. I wanted magazine fed because with 400 's only a single shot. I wanted the side lever on it as well. So we've gone for the Brocock, and
Pleased with it?
absolutely 100%.
So how long have you had that?
How long we had that now? Ooh, about 3 months now. I think it's still really new to us.
Okay.
But yeah, we've had it out there, and we've shot the AHFT side of things on it, and yeah, it's superb. I know they say it's a hunter's tool and all the rest of it, but no, it's more than happy on the range.
Which model is that, the Brocock?
The Sniper XR.
XR.
Yeah. But it's sweet. It puts pellet on pellet. We're taking things out at the 60-yard sort of marker, and yeah, it's really sweet. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I've got quite a nice little armoury building up now. I've got the Air Arms, I've got the Brocock, I've got a HW97K as well, just to go so I can go back into the Springer world when I feel like a break and something a bit different. And then Christopher's got his rifle as well, spoilt.
So how long have you been shooting, Christopher?
Oh God.
Had you been shooting before you started coming here?
Only in the back garden.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been coming here now? When did you start?
Just after you opened. In fact, I think our original membership number was number 21.
Okay,
Yeah.
so probably March.
Yeah.
March 19.
Yeah. And that's when you really got into it then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Brought you along. You were using my rifle at the time, weren't you? My Air Arms. And he was getting on with that. A little bit on the big side, because Christopher's a bit on the vertically challenged, shall we say, mate?
But let's say that.
So you'd have been 10 years old
Yes.
at the time, yeah?
Yes.
And what did you think when you came along and started shooting?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
And what rifle did you start using?
What was your first?
The first,
Your first one, because you obviously borrowed mine for
yeah,
a bit, didn't
my
you?
first one.
Christopher was shooting with your
Air arms.
S400.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my first one I had was a JSR.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first ever
VSA
one.
Ultra JSR.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you soon either grew out of that one or wanted something a bit
I
bit
grew
more
out
powerful.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of both. I got kind of bored because I couldn't really go past 30 yards,
Yeah.
and I sort of outgrew it quickly. So.
Good
yeah.
rifle to get back into it though, with a
Yeah.
nice and light and
Yeah.
It's nice and compact, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could handle it nicely.
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
you?
Yeah.
definitely.
So what did you go to after the JSR?
Day State.
Which one?
Oh. Not really.
Mark 4
Yeah.
Mark
IS.
4.
Yeah.
IS. The information screen one.
Spoilt,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Let's say
Somewhat.
that. Yeah.
Spoilt, weren't you?
Yeah.
Eh?
Have you still got that one now?
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you get on with that one?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done some of the AHFT with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
And got on well with that.
That's fun doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you
enjoy
manage
doing
with the
that.
size of that? Because you're quite
Um,
small.
Quite fine.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because you use it on a. Do you use it on a bipod or on a bench brake?
I've done it on both.
Okay.
You've concentrated more now
On bag.
on the bag, haven't you, because of the
Yeah.
AHFT setup,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, you started with it on bipod, didn't you? And
Yeah. And then came on to bag.
yeah.
Excellent. And any future upgrades, or
Don't think
are you
so.
happy with that one?
Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
with the Day State. Pretty good.
I'm hoping he doesn't want an upgrade. you're hoping the opposite, because we come to you guys now for all our rifle needs and what have you. But yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't want an upgrade anytime soon.
Yeah.
But no, he's settled into it really well. He's being such a youngster as well. He's listened. We've got an excellent group of guys here.
Yes.
That will pass on any information they've got. They don't keep it to themselves.
Oh no.
And they've took Christopher under their wing, and they think he's best thing
I think
since sliced
I think
bread.
Christopher's classed as one of the guys, really.
Yeah,
Isn't
he
down
is,
here?
isn't he
He's,
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say to anybody that's got somebody Christopher's age or slightly older, yeah, bring them down, because it's a cracking environment, and they learn so much.
Yes.
And they're given the respect. They're not, like you say, they're not looked at as being a little
hindrance.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's talked to, he's listened to, and he's helped other folk out as well on the range
Yeah.
when they've been shooting. He's settled into it really well, and for somebody so young, he can outshoot
Yeah.
outshoot some of them,
Oh
can't
yeah.
you, mate?
Yeah.
But that's down to listening and learning, and
Yeah.
not thinking, I can do it on the Xbox, I can do it here.
I was just
Yeah.
going to come on to that, because
there
a
you
lot
go.
of kids they're playing away on the PlayStations and the computer, Call of Duty and such like, and
yeah.
Yeah.
and we have quite a few come down here and say, I'm a really good shot. I've got this score on Call of Duty, and it's very different, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can't just go from a video game to real life. It's
No.
totally different.
It's you still play those games, do
Oh
you?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
different kettle of fish. Isn't
Totally
it?
different. Yeah.
But it's nice when, I mean, quite a few people bring the children out to get away from the computer.
Oh, definitely.
Or the
Yeah.
PlayStation, and
Yeah.
and that they hope that they come and take it up. A lot of children do.
Yeah.
Some are still sort of, now I prefer Call of Duty, but not many, I think.
Yeah, I know in my previous job and all the rest of it, when I was in the Air Force, and that, you get guys coming round and going, I can do this, I can do that, and yeah, you take them onto a real range, and you soon knock them down a peg or two. But
Yeah.
yeah, we do get it with. You've only really started playing Call of Duty recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
So sometimes you get that, what you've just explained there, where you get kids saying, "Oh, I've shot this on there, and I've done this, and I've fired. Oh, 50 cal, yeah, Try shooting one for real, mate. You'll be
Yeah,
you'll be
it'll
back
be a
there
lot
somewhere."
different.
I've been there. I've fired 50 cals. I know what they're like, but
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and he can sit there now and he can start spouting make and model of different rifles and all the rest. It's seeing their picture. Oh, I know what that is. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Isn't it? But
So looking at your history of being an armourer,
yeah.
do you enjoy shooting air guns as much as you would a live round rifle?
In some respects, it's a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable because you haven't got the noise. You haven't
got to
you
wear ear
haven't got to wear
defenders.
ear defenders.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some of the air rifles down here that the guys put air strippers on them rather than moderators,
noisy.
and they're a little bit noisy. But again, you can still talk to each other and you can still have that group and you can still have that conversation. And then on the flip side of the coin, you're right that when you do live firing, you've got that smell of cordite and you've got the feeling, you've got the recoil, and yes, Springers give you a bit of recoil, but it's nowhere the same as firing a 7.62 sniper rifle or a 50 cal Barrett or that's different world, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And when you sort of shooting those sort of targets at anywhere from you sort of talking of minimums of 100 yards or out to 1,000 yards, you're taking targets out, and when hit, that's always a refreshing thing to see.
Yeah, it always puts a smile on your face.
Yeah, but here, you're right. You fire an air rifle, you're in a different sort of environment. You've got a different sort of group of people that you have a chat with. You don't do that on a military range. You don't do that on a live firing range. You just do what you're told and get back on the bus and away you go. And you haven't got somebody giving you all this saying you've not cleaned your rifle. Go and clean your rifle. It's down to you, isn't it? It's what you want to do.
It's still shooting though, isn't it? It's still testing your skill.
It's the skill. It's you take a lot of what you learnt live firing in the military or be it a civilian range. You'll take that same skill set and you have to apply it to an air rifle.
That would work. Doing it the other way though as well, I think.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
I would hope so.
So you would learn what you would learn here. You
would
could take to a
yeah.
a 308 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. When you've learnt your trigger control, your breathing, your sight, target acquisition, and all that, you do. You take it away with you, and not only that, for somebody of the younger age and all this, you're teaching them a new set of values. You're teaching them a skill set that they will take away with them, rather than flying off the handle because things aren't going wrong. Because you can't do that on a range. They're learning control, self-control, and bits and pieces. Like
you're going to have days when you're not hitting the target.
Oh
aren't you?
yeah.
When there's the winds we get here,
we've
it
had some
comes over the
crackers, haven't we?
bales and it starts swirling.
Yeah.
It can be really unpredictable, can't it?
Yeah. We've been there, haven't we, mate?
Oh yeah.
And all the rest of it, we've been sat on that
Yeah.
range. But then when you start hitting and you start knocking them down, and you forget it. I can shoot in this, and that puts a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he goes home and he tells his mum what he's been up to, and it's like shows her the targets and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, really well done, and pat him back, and so he gets even bigger ego boost, don't you?
So what do you think you've learnt from shooting to take away with you to other things that you might do in life? As sort of patience or
Yeah, definitely take your time and stuff. And
Yeah.
if you rush it, it's not going to be as good as what it'd be if you take your time. So it is really just patience and waiting for the right moment.
Practice.
Oh yeah, practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You've learnt that one, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't, as we were talking today on the range, you can't have a break for. Well, I think we've not been here for a couple of weekends, but we've been busy. But so for him to come back after 3 weekends, and he put his first round down or the first pellet down, and it was like, whew. It's like, right, just chill, calm down, reset. You're not going to be the same because you've got to bring yourself back into that bubble.
Yeah.
And it's been good. It's been good.
I think I probably started to shoot, and like you say, you did at probably Christopher's age or a few years younger, and I remember what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, you're impatient, you want to shoot
Definitely.
everything, and
Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah, your gun was real cranky back in those days,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's nothing special.
if you were to watch Christopher on the range, especially in his early shoots when he first got his day state, you'd think it was an automatic.
Yeah.
He was working the bolt that fast.
Oh yeah.
It's like that one's empty. You can have another one. It was like, slow down, calm down. Yeah,
You start buying the pellets from your pocket money.
yeah, yeah. And then you'll slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back in our day when we were buying a tin for £5 and things like that, and yeah,
The old
getting
Ely
nice
wasps.
Ely
and-
wasps in blue tins. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a different world. That was. But yeah, but no, it's been good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you enjoy it and you keep coming, don't you?
Oh
So,
yeah.
but,
We're going to do a few competitions as well, aren't we? And we're
Yeah,
we're,
yeah.
we're looking at we're hoping to set up some junior competitions as well. I know we've got a few junior members now, and a few juniors that come down and shoot as taster sessions still.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that would be good to get that going.
We definitely, the sport in general needs that junior input.
I think we're losing a lot of that because of things like Call of Duty and computer
Yeah,
games.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Because kids are sat indoors in the chair, and it's
Yeah.
it's hard to get them out the
Yeah.
house.
Definitely.
And the other sort of element of that as well is that what they see on Call of Duty isn't what they will see in your shop. We've got nice wooden stocked rifles. We've got laminate stocked. We've got
Yeah.
the Brococks have moved
A little
bit
tactical, aren't
towards
they?
that
Yeah.
tactical edge,
Yeah.
but they're still not what they see.
Yeah.
It's not an M16 or a HK or something like that,
Yeah.
is it? It's and that's some of the battle you've got, isn't it? Because they rock up and you give them this air rifle, and it's like,
Yeah.
what do I do with that then? Where's the magazine go on that then?
Do any of your friends shoot?
No.
None.
Nope.
Have you tried to get them to shoot, or do you talk to them about it?
I'll tell them that I'm going shooting, but
Do they have any interest?
I don't know. Honestly, I've not really.
You've not pushed it, have you?
I've told them that it's good and that, and it's definitely something.
When we were young,
To
we
do,
just couldn't
but-
wait, could we?
No.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
boys
Yeah.
had air guns or wanted to
Yeah.
shoot.
I think some of it as well is it's sort of in Lincolnshire. It's not too bad, is it? Because we're a rural
Yeah.
community, and
Yeah.
and
Guns are more accepted.
yeah, yeah. But when you walk down the high street, you don't see gun shops. You don't. You've got to know, or you've got to want to go find you. You don't sort of put big. But I know you've got your little A-frame sign that
Sorry,
goes up
yeah,
on
yeah.
the
Yeah.
pavement there, but on the norm isn't big banners and we're here like sports shops and
Yes.
football and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff, isn't it? It's if your parents are of a younger age group, shall we say, to us, then if they weren't introduced to it,
Yeah.
they're not going to introduce. Whereas we've brought ours up,
Yeah.
and Henry, he knows, yeah. And I keep him on the straight and narrow as well.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is what you're going to do with your rifle. You're not going to point it that way. You're going to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that.
It's good discipline to be
It
learned
is,
as
isn't
well,
it?
I think.
I think there's a lot of that, isn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
There is
but,
patience and discipline.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they,
Yeah.
Christopher's our future, isn't it? It's
Oh,
the,
definitely.
It's the future of shooting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, in 20 years'
and
time,
we've got to
we'll
encourage
be-
it, haven't we? We've got
Yeah.
to take them in and show them what it's all about, and show them that it isn't a flash in the pan. It's not and you can go, and if you wanted to, we wouldn't stop him. But you can go all the way. It's an Olympic sport at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can go from what you've learnt as an air rifle shooter, take up shotgun, go clay pigeon shooting, and take it that way, or you can become a target shooter and go full bore yeah, it is an Olympic sport at the end of the day, isn't it? So,
Well, I think when I was about 14, I went to shoot with a friend of mine at, I think it was Contact Social Club in Grantham.
oh right,
And they
yeah.
had a shooting range up there. And I remember shooting there with Barry Dagger when I was probably 13, 14. And
Yeah.
that was,
yeah,
you know, getting tips
Yeah.
off Barry Dagger at that age was
yeah. Well, I can always remember my first full bore shoot. Like I say, I was with the Air Cadets and we went off to Cranwell to their 25-metre range.
Okay.
And I was introduced to the old 303.
Yeah,
Lee
the old Lee Enfield, yeah.
And I was
We had
14
those in
years,
the cadets,
14 and a half years old, laying on the firing point, big 303, and the safety officer was actually stood behind me with his feet on my feet to stop me sliding down the back. Because when you pulled the trigger on that, you knew about it, didn't you? It was a beast.
Yeah.
But it was a superb weapon. And yeah, if I could get one tomorrow, I'd have another one. Because I just love the Lee Enfield. So I think they're superb rifles.
Christopher wouldn't be going through the ammunition like he does with the
No,
airgun
he wouldn't,
pellets,
would
though,
he?
No.
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 I think at the minute it'd pull the trigger once, I think, and that would be his lot, wouldn't it?
That'd be his pocket money goal.
But they're not cheap. But yeah, it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, any aspirations for the future? Any quite happy with what you've got? And
I'm quite happy with where I am and what I've got.
Yeah.
But never say never. Like I say, 9 years ago, I just had one Air Arms S400, and I've now got 3 of my own. Look after Christopher as well, so there's 4 in my little armoury at the minute.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd quite happily. It's just the bank manager, isn't it, that keeps saying no. At the end of the day, you've got other priorities and all the rest of it.
Of course
but,
it is, yeah.
But the 3 I've got fill the 3 gaps, or the 3 different disciplines, if you want to call them
so
that.
you've got the 97, you've
I've
got the
90
400,
yeah,
and you've got the Brokaw.
I've got the Brokaw.
So how do they compare against each other? And then, of course, you've got Christopher's
Day State as well.
Yeah, so how do they all compare against each other?
I would say that the Day State that Christopher's got is...
Now, this is the Mark IV IS, so
Yeah.
this is
It's
a bit of an older model. It's
Yeah.
not a current model.
It's not
No.
a current model.
It's the start
but-
of the electronics.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very... it's good for Christopher in as much as he can see what his shot count is, he can see what his pressure is in his air cylinder
Yeah.
just by looking at that little screen.
Yeah.
But then you look at the trigger side of it, and because it's an electronic trigger, it's very mouse clicky.
Yes. Yes.
And I've done it several times when I've been on the range and had a go with it. Not that I shoot it a lot, but I've had it on the range that you get down behind it and you just sort of breathe on the trigger and it's like,
gone.
whoa, that's that one gone then.
Yeah.
Yeah. What target was that at? I ain't got a clue. It's down range. That's what I know. So,
Cheers.
so you've got that. So that's a different world. That's
Yeah.
semi-modern and all the rest of it. And then you look at the 97K, and you're going back to Springer action. You're going back to underlever and all that, and you're back
is
to
that
traditional.
a standard gun? Have you had it tuned?
No, it's not been
Okay.
tuned yet.
Yet. You're planning on
Yeah,
having-
I would like to do.
Okay.
I would like to do.
Have you shot them that have been tuned?
Yes, there was one on the range today that had been. I got a tin
It was
bum.
Christopher's, I think, was it? Chris down the bottom.
Yeah,
range.
yeah. So you're talking of a drop-in tune kit from Tin Bum Tuning there, and it's because
Did you have a go with it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's short stroker as well. So that was it was interesting because you shoot mine, and you do get the piston bounce and all that
Yeah.
bits and pieces and
Bit of a twang.
and bit of a twang,
Yeah.
as they call it. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to do, and because of my past history, past employment, it's something I could do, and I'd quite happily get the spanners out and not spanners, but the screwdrivers
Yeah.
out and the drifts and and
big
sort-
hammer.
Yeah, the big hammer. You always got to have a big hammer. mate.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I would like to tweak it and call it my own and do bits and pieces to it, but it is straight out the box, and it's a bit of the guy I got it from. It had one of the black synthetic stocks on it, and he didn't like it.
Okay.
So it's actually wearing a 77 stock on it at the minute.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a. Well, you look at it and you think that's not a 97, but it is because it's.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got that, and then like you say, you go back to the Air Arms, which I got 9 years ago, single shot, traditional bolt, if that's what you can call it, with the pellet probe. Superb build quality. Can't fault Air Arms for the build quality. Can't fault them for their accuracy. But it's just starting to show its age.
Okay.
yes, it's only 9 years old, but it's
Had quite a bit of use.
yeah. I've shot it regular, and the only reason it's taking a break at the minute is because I've got that Brocock, and it's the new toy. It's the new kid on the block. So you're out there shooting it and dialing in your scopes and what have you. But I would never get rid of the air arms because it is what it is. It's so accurate. It's so comfortable. It's so easy to shoot. But like I say, if I was to go looking, I would look more at something along the lines of the Brocock, or if money was no object, then start looking at Red Wolves and rifles like that, and the topper end, the FXs,
Yep.
and rifles like that. But it all comes down to are you buying it because of the name, or are you buying it because it's better than what you've already got? And at the minute, I can't see with those 3 rifles and 4
They're
rifles.
so good nowadays, aren't
Yeah,
they? It's-
yeah. That you can't put them in that sort of order. It does come down to personal preference, doesn't it?
So
I
what's your
think?
favourite at the 4 that you own between you?
I would have to say at the moment, and it's down to personally the way it shoots and the way it feels at the minute, is the Brocock would be my favourite.
Okay, I thought you were going to say the Viroc HW97
Nah,
then. I thought that's...
Yeah. I would say if I was more of a traditionalist and wasn't prepared to move with the times, then
Yeah.
yes, the Viroc would be up there. But the Viroc was bought for the sole purpose of reminding me how to shoot properly. You get so engrossed and so not blasé, but you can relax a lot when you're shooting a PCP. There's no recoil, it doesn't move, and it's a pleasure. You can put, as we've done today, you can put a tin of pellets through it, no problem, and think nothing of it. You wouldn't dream of doing that with the Viroc,
No.
because you would feel it and all the rest of it. And you have to think more about how you're shooting, whereas you get away with it to a certain extent with the PCPs. You
Yeah.
can just point it and away it goes. But yeah, if I was more of a traditionalist, yeah, the Viroc would be up there as the number 1. But at the minute, the Brocock.
So, same question to Christopher.
Oh.
Because you shoot them all. Do you shoot the 97?
No.
No,
You can't cock
No.
it.
no.
No. No.
You have serious problems with that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Trying to cock it.
definitely.
Have you shot it with Dad cocking it?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Not even shot it.
I beg to differ.
Oh.
I beg to differ. I think you've shot it once or twice, but not more than that. But
I don't think I did.
I'll bow to your. I'll bow to your.
Better memory.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
So what's your favourite then, and
Um,
why?
well, I like the Day State, but then I'd go with the Brocock.
Would you?
Yeah.
What do you think's the air arms? It's single shot, so it's
It
a
is,
bit
yeah.
boring for you. You're
It
not going to be able to
is.
rattle them off as quick as the
Yeah.
other two.
You started with my air
I
arms, didn't
started
you?
with it, and
As
it
an
was
intro.
nice to shoot. And then it sort of just got boring. Having to load it all the time. and-
There you
Single
go.
shot.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Brocock to your Day State Mark IV. How do they compare?
Well, obviously, today's state's got a lighter trigger and the bolt's easier. But then the Brocock's nicer because it's got a side lever, and
Okay, yeah.
and the trigger actually reminds me, like, because it's 2-stage, it reminds me, the first one, to just breathe
Yeah.
and remember where I'm going and find the spot before I shoot it. Whereas with the Day State, I can just go
And it's gone.
pull the trigger and shoot it, and it's down the range.
How about trigger weight? Because I find the biggest thing for people's accuracy down here is trigger weight.
Yeah.
And a heavy trigger, they're pulling off target every time.
Yes, because they're concentrating so hard, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
And you're
having
pulling
to
and you're
pull
pulling.
pulling, and then
then it goes, and
Yeah.
you find, why
You-
did it
you-
go down there?
Yeah.
So you don't get that with electronic triggers, though, do you?
No.
Because
No.
it takes you by surprise and it's gone before
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you? Does that bear a inaccuracy between you, both of you? Do you think, or
Don't think so.
no?
No.
I think it does to me, because I'm used to 2 stages.
Yes.
I'm so used to that. And
Used to it? Do you prefer it?
I prefer it.
You prefer the 2-stage, yeah.
I like to look at the target through the scope, take the first pressure up, double check I'm still where I want to be, and then take the second pressure. I like that. Whereas Christopher, when he started shooting, or when he started shooting his own rifle, which is really his day state, is his own. He didn't have the JSR long enough to get used to
Yes.
that, so he's used to that setup. He can handle it. I can't. I can't. Like I say, I can. Oh, where's that one gone?
Yeah.
Oh, where's that one gone? Because it's so light and it's so mouse clicky, as I said before. So I'd rather have a 2-stage. I'd rather stick with that, and I'm more accurate with that.
Yeah.
If we would sit here, or not sit here, but if we would sit on the range today and just have the day state, he would outshoot me.
Okay.
He would outshoot me, definitely.
So the next question is, honestly, who's the better shot?
Well.
I'll let Christopher answer that one.
Come on then, Christopher.
Okay.
Who's the better
Oh,
shot
God.
then?
I'm going to say me.
Are you?
Only because.
Christopher's walking home.
Yeah. Only because. With the day state, it's just easier to shoot.
Okay.
Whereas with, let's say, the Brocock or the Air Arms, it's just that little bit harder.
So on the AHFT, when you both shot it a couple of weeks ago, who got the highest score?
Me.
Did you? By how
Twice.
many?
Was
Was it a windy day?
The one we did was a windy day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, one we did was, and he still beat me by 2 shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the next one we shot, I think you were 3 or 4 clear
Yeah.
of me, weren't you?
Yeah.
And that was the first one we did was with the new Brocock, and it was like that was a real. He's beating me with my own new gun.
Yeah.
But he settles into them a lot quicker than
Yeah.
what I can.
Yeah.
He even when it comes to zeroing and all this, I will zero the rifle and I will zero the scope and I'll get it all set up how I want it. Christopher can just pick that up off me and would only have to do 1 or 2 clicks and it'd still be, yeah, I'm on, let's do it. And it was like, that's just took me half a day.
Is that age, do you think?
I think that's a lot of it. Yeah, but he just switches on quicker, and he. We get to a certain age, don't we? I think where we start lining up our excuses, and we try. It's like you've said more than once to me when we've been down on the range. It's like, yeah, come and shoot it. Come and shoot the HFT. And then come and have a go and all the rest of it. No, I've got to dial this in, I've got to do this. And it's always an excuse not to do it. Because...
We find a lot of people do that, actually.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is you've got that little man on your shoulder giving it, don't do it, you'll show yourself up, don't do it. Well, you know you can shoot, you can put holes in targets and all the rest of it. You know you can do it, but you just... No, I can't go on. Whereas Christopher, being so young...
Doesn't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the rifle. Come on, I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah.
He shot it before I did. He
Yeah.
shot the AHFT setup, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it, and I think you still enjoy it, don't you?
Oh yeah.
It's a
Definitely,
good
it's
little good little setup down there.
We do get a lot of people saying, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm only sitting here plinking. I haven't got. I'll maybe have a go next time." And it's disappointing because there's nobody's judging them. I think it's going to start raining.
Oh, well, you're not far wrong.
I don't think. No, nobody's judging them. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to look at it. It
And
is a bit of fun.
You can see where you're, because you have to work out your own distances, and you can see where to improve, can't you, quite easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's interesting as well. You start looking at the leaderboard, and you see the same couple of names that keep creeping
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
and all the rest of it. And as I had to explain to Christopher when we first started having a go at it, I said, as you've just said, this is a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Don't take it seriously. Don't
Learn from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Take something
Yeah.
from it, and next time you shoot it, if you improve 2 shots, you've improved. Don't see it of, oh, that's only 2 shots better. See it as I've improved, and build on it and build
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing, and I am to a certain extent. He can range find quicker than I can.
Yeah. And nobody looks down on you here, do they,
No,
at all? If there's
no.
no gun
No.
snobbery, that nobody
No.
looks down on you if you,
No.
you know,
No.
it's.
No.
I've heard when I've been on my deliveries recently of gun snobbery at different clubs.
Yeah.
And one guy, he said he got an Air Arms Pro Sport, which is a
Oh, yeah.
fantastic rifle.
Yes. Yeah.
And at his club where he'd been, 2 guys had got Day States and FXs, and they were sort of looking down on him and saying, "Well, it's only a spring gun. It's only a."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said,
it's
well,
like,
Yeah.
You need to come to our club. I mean, he's south of London, so
Yeah.
he's
it'd be a
it's
trek,
not going to be a
wouldn't it?
regular.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
I said, there's no need for any of that.
No. No.
None at all.
No.
No.
No. We're all shooting air rifles, or as some of them do, pistols, or air rifles. And like you say, it doesn't matter whether you've bought the £2,500 one, or you've
No.
bought the £400-500. It doesn't matter.
You're still going to get the Mickey taker when you miss, aren't you?
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, yeah, I know what it comes down to, and you just got to make sure you've got those excuses lined up, ready to go.
He'll learn.
yeah, yeah,
He'll learn his excuse.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But
No, it's good.
yeah,
It's good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's
No,
really,
thank
really,
you.
really enjoyable. And
Nice little chat. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
definitely. Thank you very much.